Give me the orc shaman. He's gonna withdraw.
The fuck he is.
I'll pick up my bow and
You'll pick up your bow and then you'll drop it. Just
Shoot him in the back of his head.
Stab yourself. Like all your arrows, you just like, oh god.
You know what the most disgusting thing is? When I have flanking, even with the curse, I have +10 to
Would
hit.
he got an attack
I'm still
opportunity
missing.
from one of us because he would throw from?
Damn.
Or was he
He
here?
was there, so he could 5 foot at a diagonal back,
Okay.
and then complete his withdrawal.
Okay.
Can I
The skelly, that one, he can withdraw by moving there and then running, right?
Yep.
Okay, get him off the map. Troglodyte can withdraw, get him off the map, then it'll be Tabby's turn.
Burning down all the people.
countryside.
Yes. Consummate.
I'm just gonna
Do the same thing,
do the same thing.
but chase him. Withdraw and chase him. Santa was trying to get this combat over, but we can't let that happen.
I'm in the square with my quarterstaff
This
now.
would be the
so-
usual.
I'm just gonna pick up my quarterstaff.
Alright.
Wait, there's no other door that we see, so they're in here somewhere.
Just
Make a line. Walk.
They're rats. They probably have a hole they can climb out of.
Okay,
Surround-
mummy.
I had a hole in
We can get the mummy out of there.
surround
Is it an
the
Archon
warrior.
hole? Otherwise, I'm not interested.
It's not that level yet.
Surround
Tomadrill,
the
anything from
warrior.
Tomadrill?
Oh, no, he's cool.
Guy.
War ape.
Die!
You're gonna get 1 kill. Do it.
18.
18 will hit.
You're gonna do your 1 point.
You need a 6.
He does it.
7.
7. Good job, buddy.
Is it? It doesn't.
It's not dead.
It's not dead.
No.
I
Nice try though.
I stuck it and I looked him in the eyes when I did it. I was
You
like,
could have used both hands. You can do that, and it does more damage.
The rust monster
it doesn't.
can get away
No, it
too.
doesn't. You have 0 strength on.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I think they can all get away.
War ape can't.
And then we can just be fucking done with this.
We're
So
killing
bring me the
warrior.
rust monster. Belleville's up.
Rust monsters away.
I
What?
just kidding. I'm over here.
move out of the way.
Chases
of the
them.
war ape, like,
I'm in the corner, staring at the corner.
Hey, it's weird.
He's
You guys didn't see it, but there's a black
Blow
dragon
up.
over there.
You're gonna charge, aren't you?
I am.
Alright, try your attack coming in. He misses.
Okay.
Unless 7 hits you when you're charging. So.
15.
15 does not hit.
Oh, am I flanking?
No,
No.
you're not.
Yeah.
Mark, you're
Could
rolling.
have. We made room for you chose poorly.
I was doing a 5-foot step
Go ahead.
over and charged behind him.
20.
That'll hit. Kevin,
if he
you're on
dies,
deck.
my sword is still in him.
4.
with
You have
my
flanking,
sword
right?
there, like,
Oh.
this is gonna happen.
20.
So that's 11. 11.
Alright, it's dead.
Yay.
There's one guy there. I charge him.
I don't know who it is, but
The last one.
8 does not hit you, so.
It's
Taylor pick
But
it.
Yep, okay.
Impaler.
He's still around?
The one that's in front of the
The
door.
one is in front of the door. The last one.
You chose.
no!
Do it again.
Put him in the corner.
3. 1 followed by 3.
Jorgendal.
Charge. I'm sorry, Kevin. Just because you cannot perform, don't let that hurt. I actually.
Yes. Thank you.
11?
Thank you.
11
for
doesn't
coming to my
hit.
rescue.
But I'm right in
Do
it.
it.
Mark, your cleric.
Now you can have 2.
I will. Mess.
Did you miss your charge?
Yeah. Roll 3.
Everybody's missing their charges.
You know what? This is why I have to roleplay my character really well, because in combat I'm completely useless. I can't roll for shit.
Actually, I'm gonna heal somebody, but heal me. You. Okay.
I'm good.
I am 25 out of 43.
Ah,
Who
you're
is he
alright.
going to be attacking?
I'm not there. I'm slow.
Should I try to drop guy?
Yes. Yes.
You get 1.
Try.
No, you get 5.
Does he have a great axe?
No.
Dang. I would say yes.
Well, we'll see. He's attacking.
He has a
guy, 'cause
scythe,
I'm assuming
actually.
21's gonna
Oh.
hit you guy,
Oh, yeah.
and he hits for 5.
Good thing
It's
it's healed you.
weird.
Then he withdraws at the door.
It's a colossal plus
He
sight.
can't attack
With
then.
phasing.
Tabby,
Steps up the door.
So he can swing it.
huge. Tomadrill.
Oh,
and Belleville
oh
are
god.
next to.
It's times 4. Scythe does like 2d6
I'll
plus
heal
the side
Gag.
It's 2d4 normally.
2d4, 2d6, 3. So
No.
it's like 2d12
Eight.
plus
What?
12.
Redonkulous.
12?
12.
Belleville, anything you
I
stand
tried
in the
to
corner?
do plus
I'm
two
assuming
for
Tom and
some,
Rilla
but
don't
that
do
doesn't
anything.
I gotta look
that
up.
way.
Robot.
You have to move all the way around.
Charge.
Yeah,
You don't have a slow line of effect.
5 foot
But you can-
diagonal charge.
You could walk around the pile.
No, I don't. Move me in.
He's gonna share space with somebody.
I'm getting in there.
You're a spaces guy.
Get out of my way, guy. I push him over.
You're like, move over! Just picks him up.
Nope.
Mark, your rogue.
I'm gonna move around him, take the attack. He has one still.
It doesn't hit you anyway. Kevin, you're on deck.
Oh, hey, 20. And
Maybe not.
Not a 20.
Almost a 20.
But he's
So I
got
got flanking.
flanks.
Kill him.
10
10.
12?
Yeah, 10.
or 10, 11.
Damn
We'll
it!
kill him.
Okay, there you go.
I would have rolled a 3 anyway, so it's fine.
It's fine.
All right,
Never
I'm
happened.
glad that combat's over.
Loots!
Back
Me
to
too.
town. Fuck
No, we're in town.
I'm picking up my weapon.
I pick up my
I
crossbow.
skinned him.
Well, he has a silver dagger.
Where rapper? That was.
I hope you enjoy your diseases.
How shrivelly.
I eat the were
Does
rat.
bleach exist in this universe?
Clever.
All right, somebody's got to get out a piece of paper because there's a bunch of loots here.
Not it.
Got her.
Give me 1 second to
You know I shouldn't write.
do the maths.
No.
first.
Everybody
Heals
knows.
to dump.
Yeah.
Lots
Down
of them.
13.
I can barely read anything I'm writing over here. So
Okay, all the level 4s get 2,400 XP.
3,000?
2,400.
Robot, you get 2,509. I'm assuming nobody wants any repairs.
I'm going to pick them all up and give them to Jory.
Yep. 2,400.
They're on his sheet.
Yeah.
He can't
Does
walk.
anybody want repairs, chain shirts, heavy shields, heavy steel shields, light crossbows, studded leather armor, or bolts?
I
Sorry.
need bolts.
All right, you've got the list, Belleville.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3,087 gold pieces.
Jeez.
Yoink.
Jesus, they were loaded.
3,973 silver pieces. Before you guys leave, you're gonna have to figure out how you're carrying this because this is a lot of weight.
Yes, it is. Don't put it on me.
34,691 copper pieces.
Yeah.
34,000?
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, we're leaving
We didn't
those.
pick up coppers.
An aquamarine.
We're in town. We just fucking make trips back.
Yeah, I doubt they. I doubt the town.
You want to
can
talk
change.
about what happens when you do that? It's called economies of scale.
Yeah.
And suddenly, an arrow is 6,000 gold pieces.
So we buy first, then we exchange.
In Azurite,
He's an aquamarine and an azurite.
yep,
I'll buy our
Don't know.
Azurite. They're gems.
Nah, sure.
A second Azurite,
Times 2.
because they're different values.
Times 2.
Well, that's fine. They're gonna both be the low value then. A bloodstone.
Like,
Well, if you tell me what the difference is, I'll
It's a
write it
gem.
down. Otherwise,
It's higher quality. That's about it. One's got a better
A blue
cut.
quartz.
When people take it, they can
Azurite good. Azurite not as good.
Yeah.
Flawed azurite. Azurite.
A blue sapphire. A brown diamond.
Anybody needs some leather armor?
Gross.
Can we make a necklace out of the brown diamond for Jory?
That's what we call it around here. A citron.
It's
Yeah.
citron.
Brown
Yeah.
diamond.
Just spell it how you think it's spelled. It doesn't much matter.
That's his wrestling name, his alter ego.
The brown diamond.
A deep blue spinal.
Red comes to
You
the
can also
fire.
wear, if you want, you can wear the chain shirt. It's better AC. What's your dex?
okay.
A deep blue spinal.
6, so
He doesn't want to
16.
because he's sneaky.
16?
He's gonna jingle jangle with a chain shirt.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh, okay, you can't wear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, start leather armor. Okay.
A fine cloth gown.
Ooh,
town drill.
Yes. Yes.
It's his.
He's already wearing a corset.
Yes.
He can
But we
just
gotta
carry
have like sexy lounge pose like things, or just like leaving the robes open. So I figured 700 pounds of copper. Okay. Let me just see if I'm in what
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
because it's 2 tenths.
Let's go give this to that.
What is P-D for in load?
Dude, that's your way over.
So what's my? Do I still get dwarven movement?
You can move 5 feet. That puts you're beyond. You've moved into the encumbered category.
Okay.
I'm with Kevin. We just load this up. All 12 of us fucking drag this to the guy with the raft and say, "Here's your payment, you fuck. Here's a fucking ride."
Payment.
Count it.
It's like
Pennies.
It's like going to the bank with a bunch of pennies. Just eat a dick.
You could drag it. I can help. I have 16 strength.
Yeah, I'll just yeah.
Drag this copper to him in the morning.
Here you go, fuckface.
Well, you got to figure out a way. This is just kind of in their hoarding, so you've got to
Right.
figure out how you're going to transport 34,000 pieces of copper.
I have a sack.
Just gonna fill it up.
Slingshot. One at a time. All fucking night. Where's this guy's house at? Shatter all his windows.
Pile of
Everyone slingshots.
Didn't tell anybody that we killed a bunch of were rats.
Nope.
Okay.
You guys
Everyone got.
You went back and went to sleep, and then the next morning went and somehow paid the ferryman and 22,000 copper pieces. That
Nice.
you're in a extremely busy city. The streets are pretty much packed, and you travel through the city on the raft onto the docks. And as you approach the docks, the raftmen are pretty deft at guiding the raft in and tying it off to the docks. So now you are on the docks, and the crew thanks you for saving them from Sagwin, but that didn't happen. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
however, the one thing you note as you get off on the docks is that the streets are just packed full. There's beggars on the corners, and you're in a very large port town.
Okay.
So
I wish to sell my junk.
that's where you're at.
Get some beggars
Everybody's
and
kind of
then
free to do what they
throw
want.
copy pieces.
I'm going to use my.
Oh, also, I'd just like to point out that Guy and Tabby, you guys kind of felt weird on that trip down the river.
Not me either.
But the other two did.
I made it.
And this is how the port city gets decimated.
So you're coming
Tell
with
him
me to the
this.
temple. We're going to the temple.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are going to the temple. Robot,
I
what are you
advise
doing?
you to
I'm
follow.
gonna look for this is a big city.
Trust us,
Huge
we know what we're
city.
doing.
I'm gonna look for someone to enchant some boots.
The biggest city.
You want to go to a magic shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
The-
Guy?
Before I go do my
I want some
own
boots and
thing,
springy.
Yep.
I'll go with them to the temple.
Okay, you guys are all going to the temple.
Yes.
Tomadrill's gonna grab the nearest informed beggar that he can see, like, hey, give him 10 silver pieces and say, you need to find a map,
He's gonna die.
and I need
That's
to
a lot
find,
of fucking
can you
money.
tell me anything about this city? I'm looking for some
Someone-
news here.
Oh, some
I'll
gang
share stuff
member
with
just saw
you.
that.
Give me
and split his throat.
the pulse. Jorgendal
This
is
guy's giving
going
away 10
to,
Right.
He's loaded.
no, he's got to unload some shit.
Oh.
So, first off, he's going to the weapon master.
This is a huge.
Okay, he's gonna accompany you to look for the map first. Okay. He's smart enough
I
to
mean,
do
you
that.
could find. What I'm saying is, there's going to be multiple vendors.
Yeah, he's gonna look for a map and then also listen to see if he can find out
You'll get a lot of information
the
out
most
of
renowned.
traveling to
Yeah.
Belleville.
I am going to try to find someone to identify this fucking leather armor.
So you're gonna go to a magic shop.
Okay, I'm going with robot.
Hey.
Mark.
I just wonder about and just try to get the lay of the land like Frosted.
Okay, basically I'm gonna set out some just general
Okay.
of where you could go. You could go and look for like equipment, weapons and armor. You can look for supplies. You could go to a magic shop. You could go to like inns, try to find some place to spend the night. You could go to the taverns. You could go to shrines or temples. You could go and try to find government buildings of some sort.
Go to the tavern, I guess.
That's
You're
why
going to
I
the
know.
tavern. All right.
You
No
guys
one
are
was going to the
kinda
weapon
looking
shop
to
right
get
off the bat,
disease
right?
removed.
Mm.
Okay.
You're,
Oh,
And nobody was
Yeah,
going
like
for
some
supplies
disease.
right off the bat,
Get
correct?
rid of some shit.
you
No.
guys are. It's a magical.
All right.
like
So
some-
Robot and Belleville, you guys are going to search for magic items.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get shit identified.
Right, which is magic shop.
Yep.
Same difference. 1 second here. So you guys stop at the first magic shop you find. Belleville, upon inquiring on the cost to identify a purported magic item, it is 150 gold pieces.
Sure.
And what are you getting identified?
2 of them.
Okay.
No, you didn't say that the feathered hunter's cap did not have a magic order.
It didn't. No, you guys didn't even check it, but
Just one then. The leather armor from the rust monster room.
okay. From way back in the Rusties, huh? All right. Belleville discovers. Let me find it in here. That was a long time ago, so. It's not them.
Yeah, I was gonna say after we
There
go to
they
the
are.
towers, or the
Doubt it.
temple.
They identified the leather armor as +1 leather armor. Robot.
Mm-hmm. I could.
She likes
You
not
are
knowing.
also at the same shop. Shopkeeper would be more than happy to do some enchanting work for you. However, there's quite a waiting list currently. However, many items can be found in town, especially with the recent influx of refugees.
Want some boots of springing and striking?
They don't have to.
What is the gold piece? You want to just search? You want to spend your time in town
I
for
wanna
now
look for that.
searching for them?
Yeah.
All right, find the gold piece value for me and let me know what it is.
Why? Because it gives me 10 more movement.
Boots of spring and striding. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I figured that was.
It's nice to have 30
Does
instead of
the
20.
magic shop give values of shit? Say,
Thanks for
sell
being
that
my
thing?
support.
To sell that leather armor,
Yeah.
they would give you a
5,500 gold pieces.
5,500, huh?
According to official 3.5E.
That seems like a lot.
It's probably close on
I
boots
thought-
of springing striding.
Oh, boots, screaming and striding.
It's a wondrous item.
Yeah.
So the answer.
I thought you were talking about +1 leather armor. I was like, I think that's only worth like 1,500 or something.
Yeah. I knew that mine was probably going to be out there.
There's about a 63% chance that somewhere in town you can find it.
You don't have the right amount of gold.
But
you
you're going
happen
to
to
spend
spend the
4
time-
hours searching for it.
If you spend the time, you should flag down ye old persuader. I don't know how
Yeah.
much I could finagle off the price, but you never know.
I'm going to look first. I got to find them.
So the next 4 hours, Robot is searching for it. Belleville, after getting that
Getting increasingly
priced and
frustrating.
identified, the shopkeeper, is like, well, you're spending some money. If you've got that kind of gold, it might not be a bad idea to go talk to the town council, and maybe try to find some place to storehouse some of your wealth, given the increased crime in the city. Just a suggestion.
Thanks for
Mark,
the concern.
you went to the taverns.
Yep.
To drink away.
Are you
the
going to go to
sorrows.
like a high-end establishment, or?
Yes.
All right. After very short time, you find what's obviously a high-end establishment.
He's gonna go pink.
As you approach the door, you're escorted to a seat, and while they're escorting you to the seat, they let you know that standard fare is 15 gold pieces, with an additional
Which
5
one?
gold pieces for
Player's handbook?
wine or ale,
Yeah.
and you have to pay it up front.
Sure.
20 gold to get in, bro.
Pass it down to
20
Bill.
gold each.
Okay. I'll buy it.
All right. The waiter then escorts you back into a side room, which,
Where he beats you up.
in your appearance, you would assume it may have been a closet at one point. But the rest, the main dining area, is just packed with patrons currently. And they seat you at the table.
I found a fine robe and
And
robe and
Dress.
we're just going to progress through yours. They bring you
yeah.
food,
Yeah, it was a dress.
wine, or log, whatever you
I think it was
wanted
a
for
dress, but it was a
beverage.
female version.
And
of
it's
the robe.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Probably a dress, but anyways.
It was like a
And
dress.
while you're
I imagine
eating-
you putting a dress on with the corset over it.
You can kind of hear from the main room just
Someone wants a trap.
the statement from the table right outside of adventurers like that lot should be going to the council. They need all the help they can get.
Okay.
You guys went to the
Temple.
temple. Are you going to the Temple of Heronius?
Yes.
All right. I should be going to bed if I want to get 8 hours of sleep tonight.
Do you ever really want 8 hours of sleep?
No, I'm averaging 5.5 hours of sleep a night.
That's good.
So you find the temple, and it's very obvious that there's a lot of sick and injured that are lined up in the main chambers. One of the clerics, probably a lower cleric, insists that they're very busy.
I can see that. Can we help in any way to expedite a little bit here? Because we have curses and potentially lycanthropy. So I don't know if you guys want that running through your city, but
Eventually, because of your position,
This. Oh.
you manage to get yourselves let in out with some scowls at
Our
the
companion.
half breed.
Just cover your face.
And I'm gonna cover my ears.
he's just like, I don't hear anything. Nope.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
So eventually, you do. You make it to more or less a back room where
We can
it's
be
an
seen
office
in private.
for the clergy.
Alright, introduce myself, where I'm from.
We seek healing.
I have a curse. Definitely have a curse on me. These guys potentially have lycanthropy. I want to get that, knock that one
Yeah.
out.
For you, 100 gold. For those two, 200 gold. Each.
Okay,
Price.
deal.
So the priest goes about his rituals,
Yeah, I'm half breeds.
and
200 gold off yours. I'm not paying for you. Come on.
That's fine.
while they're getting their magical healing going on, the head priest, kind of explains that the council is in desperate need of assistance, and the temple has been called upon to offer whatever assistance it can, and being of the faith
Yes.
would be would be helpul to go to the council house.
I was to say I was about to offer our services as this is a cleric to help here, but if you feel it is more necessary to help the consul, we will do that.
Kevin, I'm gonna grab my remaining 80 gold from you.
Okay. You want me to still carry your silver?
Yes.
Maybe you should go
Ross.
to the
I'm gonna take some notes. So.
Yeah, wealth exchange would probably be a good thing to think
Money
about.
changer. To stabilize the economy. Oh, you ain't gonna do that with a huge port city.
No.
Yeah, it's only
Okay.
some silver
Platinum.
too. It's only some silver.
Yeah, that I have 147.
Oh,
Thanks for healing me.
Basically,
just, I'm out.
Dip on out as fast as you can.
in your bribery of the beggar on the corner, there's lots and lots and lots of
Get rid of some of these gems.
refugees coming from the
What you
west.
should do is get your gold
Fling
the
the war.
gems so it's easier for you to carry.
The shipyards are really busy.
Well,
Should get them appraised.
There are ships in and out of the harbor,
See how much the gems are worth.
but getting out of the city is expensive currently.
yeah, but it's not going to do me
By
any
via
good.
water?
Via water. Getting passage on a ship
Or would it be able to
is
use the
expensive.
You'd be able to use gems as currency.
Basically, all the prices are jacked up right now because the economy has been kind of thrown out of line. They don't obviously say it as eloquently, but however, if you do want to have a good time and you've got some gold, there's a little bar to the east of the city, outside of the city walls, in the fishing port. It's a pretty tight run place, but he strongly recommends the ale there is magnificent.
That's all.
Fuck, Jorgendel's gonna go here.
That's all Jorgendal's got to hear.
He just perks up.
Can I possibly have the name of this the fine establishment's owner, or someone who I might be able to be in contact with?
The tavern is called the Rusty Hammer Tavern.
Rusty Hammer.
All these gems.
This is a rusty trombone.
Gem weight is.
It's run by a mage named Tellus.
You can just hand me those gems.
Tell us
That's
about
all
them.
I'm told.
Tell us.
Yeah.
What race is Tellus?
Human.
Is this who man?
I'm gonna go with Jorgendal. You can drink it.
I don't know there right off with that, but I
Whenever
will.
you go there, I'm going with
After our temple thing,
Still going.
I want to
I want to search for a place where I can get this direwolf pelt made into 2 cloaks that I am still carrying. You now have a direwolf pelt
The
cloak.
flaming corset.
Thanks.
But I get the head.
magical.
That's more magic.
Okay. So I have a
How
fine
much is a
robe and dress, I believe,
Whoa,
and a bolt of fine
whoa, guy.
Carry it.
I saw that.
unless they're magical. In which case, okay.
That's cool.
You're gonna spend a similar amount of time just for the sake of making it all even.
And then you can identify your weapons. But I think
So you
we
have
use
the
some
bolt
gems
of
for
cloth.
that.
Yep.
We're gonna try and identify the weapon.
Yeah.
He's pretty impressed with it. Values it at about 400 gold pieces.
Oh, I'm gonna
Oh, I
persuade
should
him.
have did that at the temple.
What?
Go back to the temple. Forgot to have them look at my sword to see if they have any ideas.
You just go.
No ideas?
Here, fashion this belt or this pelt, and then. Oh wait, I forgot something. Hey guys, what color?
Check
is
this
it?
out.
Just give me something so I can.
Blue.
Blue. Okay, I'm gonna fashion.
Watch what happens when I hit
story
something, just a random
about how
hit.
he travels with name
Right
from
flash.
afar. What's the opposite
No,
direction
what
the
happens
refugees
is
are coming?
nothing at all.
Far east.
Only
Far
that
east.
What's this?
Okay.
Kill
They're
us, sick
coming from the
guy.
far east.
My
and
paladin power just
You're not
going
gonna
away.
find. You might be finding
Damn it.
cloth
But it
of
was working
their
earlier.
quality, but you're not gonna find it
Earlier.
with this. And I rolled a 22 on my persuasion or bluff. The same.
He goes into the back room and brings out a bolt of the exact same cloth.
400 it is. What does he think of the dresses and the
The robe.
robe?
Given the demand, he's willing to up the price on the dress, and that's 30 gold, which is
Pretty lenient.
you would know that's a
very
good
high
penny
quality.
for
Yep.
a dress. And he's looking at the robe, and he's looking at the gems on it, and he's very, very impressed with it. And he probably doesn't have a dollars and cents in the store to purchase it. He says, "It's gonna be straight with you. It's worth about 1,200 gold.
Damn.
Is it fanciful or is it magical?
It's not magical,
Oh.
Just a
But
lot
it's
of gems
but
inlaid.
the gems inlaid in it
Is what gives
are
it
very
value.
valuable.
I thank him for his honesty, and I give him an extra 10 gold, or just say, well, he'll net 10 gold from me.
Let's see what the bolt of silk silk is worth.
So 30 gold from that, 30 gold from the dress, and 400 gold.
460 gold,
460 plus an extra 10, so.
470 gold, and you
Alright.
know that the robe is worth 1,200 bucks.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, 450 gold in your
Yeah.
pocket.
So 510.
Guy, did you go with these guys to get a?
No, he left.
He left
You
us.
want about your business?
He went, fuck
I
you.
went to go about my business.
Thanks for the
Using all the
advice. Didn't want to die.
You wouldn't die. You just become a were-rat. You'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do that either.
He'll be fine. He gets DR.
It's true.
Oh well, what else are you up to?
I'm gonna find a place to get rid of that armor.
The +1 leather?
Yeah.
You can sell it at the same place.
Cool.
Too bad Guy wasn't there. That would have been nice for him.
Yeah. +1 leather armor would be amazing armor for Guy.
He's off baiting somewhere, so.
Now you can just go there and buy it.
No, because he doesn't have any money.
Oh, that's right.
All his money is with Kevin.
Did,
They'll give you 800 gold for the armor.
did Napoleon
Water dead
Napoleon
things, right?
Bonaparte put his armies
Where?
in his sleeveys?
Where do you put his army?
He put his armies in his sleeveys.
Oh my god.
Mark,
I cracked up so hard when I read that earlier.
Yes, you did.
what are your characters doing? You had a meal. What else are you doing?
Talking about, was my set of leather anything magical? Did I realize, like, did I feel tingly when I put it on?
Nobody detected magic on anything, so I couldn't tell you if it's magical or not.
Okay.
Tell you one thing, you're full of lice and fleas. And
It's not tingly, it is a little itchy.
I will go and try to discover where anybody else
I'm
is.
sure you didn't disinfect that.
My next plan was to go find these two.
I'm on my way to a magic shop.
Mark, while stumbling around, you bump into Robot.
Hey, Robot.
Great.
I heard there's a
God damn
quest
it.
at the consulate.
Give me your money.
Screw you. I'm the robot.
Is this your rogue or your cleric?
Both of them.
Give me your money.
I didn't take them. I can take them.
I need it for important
Alright, so
things.
4 hours have passed.
What time is it now, Dave?
Midday.
2-ish.
2:57. Heading to the
Where
magic
are we
shop.
going next?
Jorgen and Lanai. I'm assuming I bump into.
The consulate.
Do you want to stop
After
in
my whatever.
a magic
so.
shop
You go, what?
Actually, I went to the magic shop.
for yourself?
Who's that? A magic shop,
Yeah,
yeah.
a magic shop, yeah.
You gotta find him.
Hey.
Magic.
You gotta think that you can only go so far. I'm gonna magic shop. I got a bunch of shit to identify.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the magic shop too to see if they can look at my sword.
Can I get my animal companion yet?
In the city.
Yeah, you can get some rats.
You can go. We'll let you go outside the walls and find your animal companion.
Find a squab.
Get a rat.
Squab.
Scorpion.
Find an animal companion. Pidgeotto.
150 golden item.
Persuade down, perhaps. 19.
I've got other customers.
Okay. Worth a shot. Gotta haggle.
No, I get it. I get it.
First off is gonna be the ring.
Shitty movie.
That's not bad.
Ring of protection +1.
It was decent.
Ooh, you should
First
wear
one.
it.
First one was alright.
First one
Or
was
I
pretty
can
big.
wear it.
Second one.
When they broke out of the when she came out
Black
of the TV
Pearl.
the first
Wait,
time,
is
I
it Black
fucking
Pearl? That's not magical.
couldn't stand up.
Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, I do have this.
The second one.
I have
Same
2
one.
swords to identify.
Jennifer,
Oh.
whatever the fuck.
Do
her
I
name
know
was.
what
Hey,
the-
give some of your
With
gold.
the little kid or
Just
whatever
kidding,
that
the
was
garnet?
in the attic? That one sucked.
That's. Do I know what that is now,
Just see if
roughly?
there's anything that I can
If you pay 150, you'll know exactly what it is.
Will they tell me how to deactivate it and give it to someone else?
The ring 2
Or is it?
They could try to see if it's possible.
Is it attuned to me now?
base AC
Deer
without
freak
flare
out
armor.
Well,
Start
that's
attacking you.
something you could discover for 150 gold pieces.
150 gold pieces,
Interestingly enough,
That's two.
it's a cursed item,
Oh, really?
The garage, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
but it's giving you the benefit. It is giving you the benefit,
Yeah.
but you can't get rid of it.
Oh, so that's the curse. It's always there. Okay. All right. And then.
And if
so I
you
know
try
what
to
my
grab it,
stone
it
is.
moves away.
Let's see what Jorgadel has anything on him. I just got those
Throw a
potions.
blanket
but
over his
those
head.
Spending 150. Maybe I
I'll
don't.
get
Character
this
is
item,
supposed to be
then
like
we'll-
a
One
caster.
reason I mean, it's not
Combat
racist, it's like
fighter.
4 years now.
I get it.
Long
Do you?
sword ET 68. Is that the one I was using?
I don't know. It was some
Yeah, that must have been around that time.
T68.
conjuring the happening.
I believe it. Yeah, I don't think that was magical, but it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was
The happening was not that good.
Jorgadel knows what it is
Conjuring
now.
is good.
I'm going
It wasn't
to
I don't remember what it was.
get this
was
glowing
one,
scimitar that I got off the pedestal
No,
identified.
I haven't seen that either. It's with Patrick Wilson.
Do you remember what the
Yeah,
number on it
played,
was?
No, you just told me
That was a
glowing
Conjuring?
scimitar.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
like
sorry.
And the
That's
Rain
okay.
one where
It's
they
not your fault.
they go to the house and
It's
that.
150. You
Like,
said.
the demons.
Yep.
Okay.
or wait no, you're talking about
A scimitar.
City.
No
City.
flaming
There you go.
blast
Okay.
burst.
It's something like super awesome. Yeah.
Why haven't we been using that?
I like the city.
I forgot it, to be honest.
It's got all the
He did
elements.
too until just now.
Well, if it's
Holy
really
fire,
good, maybe I'll
ice,
just
thunder.
keep it and then spec into dual wielding the
Ooh.
paladin.
How'd that go again?
It's painful.
+1 flaming.
Yeah.
And acts as though it has a light spell when it's out of its scabbard.
Get it, kill it.
All the time. Can't be turned on or off.
+1
I'm
flaming
surprised he didn't steal that
and
to match his corset.
light constant.
These weapons are icky.
But it glows and it's fiery.
This
Matches.
lane of protection is that a natural armor? That's deflection.
Deflection.
Okay,
Deflection.
so I want to
Man,
know
is that a
what it-
is that a +3 weapon then? It's got flaming +1
Yes.
and the light, or is the light not a
The
enchantment?
light isn't technically an enchantment.
Okay.
It is, but it isn't.
Like
It's
permanence.
not a-
Bing!
Yeah. It's not part of the weapon enchantment. It's
Right.
been enchanted otherwise.
Yeah.
This one.
Item ET48. I don't know if that was.
That was the scimitar.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I put glowing scimitar and then below it item ET48.
Sell it to Jory.
Yeah, you could probably
Hmm.
all of your
Ever-burning
gold for the rest of the time.
I don't think that this is good enough. I don't think he's good enough for this weapon. I'm not gonna give him any money, but I'm gonna have him look at my other sword. Like, what do you think about this? What does this look like to you?
I don't know, guys. Have you seen how many rapiers got on?
Just looking at it, you can see that he's kind of drawn back. And he kind of draws you off of just like beyond my ability.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Just go to the temple and just sit and pray. Tell me what this is. Tell me. Come on.
Brady.
I'll take my
Erroneous.
curse back if you tell me what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. No. All right now.
As a penance.
I don't have anything.
What about roll spot?
Rolling a spot.
I know everything.
I am. What is that, an 18? Nope, that's 10. Spot. Wisdom. Not a dump stat. 10.
Do you know about the console? I'm gonna tell him about what the
Council.
priest guy
Council
told
stuff.
us. You're with us too, right?
I'm
You already know this information.
Yeah.
Is everyone at the magic shop?
I've heard that
I'm
too.
not at the magic shop.
I'm not.
I'm
Oh.
looking up. I'm
I
out in
thought-
the city searching.
Oh,
I'm
Like
at the
looking through the
robot.
bazaar.
you're with him.
Yeah.
Is
gonna
anybody
look
else at the magic
around.
shop right now?
I'm gonna
Oh, hey!
browse the magic shop.
Consul guy needs help. We're gonna help him.
Oh, when? Someone was like, "Well, I'm fine for helping, but we got things we have to do."
Well,
first."
yeah, I'm not saying right this second.
No.
We need to
What
go
kind of help?
help. With stuff. The temple told me that they need dire help with things. And stuff.
Jordan,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
holy
browse the magic
quest,
shop,
okay?
see if there's
Stuff and
anything that I
things.
might like.
Jordan's like, "Well, we just got done helping people. I don't want to help anymore. I want to go to the alehouse.
Go
It has
drink.
some-
It's fine.
It's gonna happen, and this bastard's coming with me because he's got my fucking money."
then Tyler will just.
Why aren't you
money
carrying
at
your
him.
own money?
Huh?
Why aren't you carrying your own money?
It's probably for the best.
I don't care.
300
How much
gold
is one
pieces.
beer? 2 gold pieces? Here's 50.
Just bag of gold on the counter.
I'm drinking tonight.
The way you're gonna increase your stuff is pretty much gonna be magical stuff at this point. So you're gonna get magical robes or no, not rubbing your nipples. That doesn't help.
That does help.
It always every time.
Oh, you know what it made me?
Increases your AC.
It just made me think of something. I was thinking about. Interestingly enough, this is just. I just searched ever-burning torch value, and so to make ever-burning torches, this is just one example of how the D&D economy doesn't work. A 4th level wizard with an effective intelligence of 22. That doesn't mean your intelligence has to be 22. It just has to be effective when you're casting the spell.
Okay.
Could make 4 a day. They cost 50 gold each to make, and sell for 1,000 gold pieces.
Talk about making bank.
I dumped it all.
That sounds like
All that crap.
a business Rob needs to get into.
Yeah, the future for Rod there.
I mean, the thing is eventually everybody has ever-burning torches, and your
And the
market
value
runs up.
drops.
Also, that's misuse of magic, which may upset certain deities.
You get hit by a lightning bolt for 40d6 damage.
You may just get teleported to a plane and said, no. So, Kevin, I'm assuming you said you were going to the council chambers.
Yes.
Are you finding anybody else?
Remember the torture.
I mean, I'm with them.
We're gonna.
I don't. Is Robot coming with?
Are you guys gonna come with?
Where you are. I'm
Yeah,
looking for
he's not with us.
something
They're not
else.
with
yeah.
us.
I'm just saying, are you going to find anybody else?
We're gonna head that way, and if we see them, we'll tell them where we're going.
Well, we'll assume that at some point or another you bump into most people. You come to it. The council building is a large stone structure. It looks like it was probably a keep at some point. While wandering around the city, also, Ross, I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry, you had asked for a map.
Yep.
The city is kind of concentric walls. How it's been expanding. So there's just wall, and they're of varying quality. You can kind of tell how the city
So
has
it gets-
prospered.
Gets more higher class towards the
Yep,
center.
yep. And that's not true down at the docks. It's very well off at the docks. Although the area where the ships are being built, you can see it from the high spots in the city, is all cordoned off currently, but you can tell it's very busy. You enter the council chambers and enter a room, and there is a clerk at the far side of the desk. And upon your arrival, the clerk just says, "What are your purposes coming to the council chambers?"
We were sent by the Temple of Heronius saying that you needed help.
Fair. First, we have to answer some questions before you can meet with somebody. Where did you come from?
Afar.
What I'm from Lumea. We were from Lumea. That is the original city that we were from.
Commodore says the road is mile from the origin.
Fair. Where have you traveled from recently?
West.
Do we have a note to deliver to someone?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do have we have a
A missing.
we came from the village, the farming village, and we have a note from the other king that
Hold. So you've
escapes.
come from the west.
Yes.
Yes.
The council will want to hear of this.
I said
He stands
west.
up and steps through the door behind him. And he's only gone for a few moments. And upon his return, he says, "The council members are present and would like to speak with you with most haste," and directs you to the door.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
You step inside the council chambers, and there are 4 men and a woman seated along the far end of a large oblong oak table. Chairs stretch the remainder of the table, and the man at the head of the table,
Doesn't get paid as much.
once you step in, says, "Please sit. Can I offer you refreshments?"
Yeah.
Sure, I would like some water.
Water would be fine.
Beer for Jorgendal.
Water?
I'm pious, all right.
You guys
What?
got Coca-Cola?
One of the counselors gets up and steps out of the room to go get your refreshments, and he says, "Please tell your tale of how you got here."
Tell him.
We
Okay.
leave this
You're gonna-
hotel
you're gonna-
to
exactly.
the
You're
bar.
You're gonna share exactly what happens.
Yep.
Once you reach 8 silos, the council members start to kind of, it's obvious, and they're kind of whispering to one another, and then the man at the head of the table and stops you. My apologies for interrupting, but this story sounds familiar. I'd like you to meet someone else who arrived from the West under strange circumstances.
Here comes frickin'
And with that, he gets up and steps through a different door.
wizard time.
He returns, and a patroller comes with him. And the patroller whispers something to him. And then the man returns to the table. You wait for a few moments, and the patroller escorts in a man.
John C.
The man is wearing battle-scarred leather armor. He has very shaggy brown hair, shaggy growth beard, and a nasty scar above his left eye. And he eyes you warily from the head of the table standing next to the man.
Do I recognize him?
Do I recognize him?
Okay, you guys all rolled. Nobody recognizes him. It's not anybody you've seen before.
Okay.
Does he smell familiar?
And the man at the head of the table kind of nudges him and says, "Go ahead, tell them about your journey." And the man kind of snaps to attention, obviously military. And he says, "Yes, sir. My story begins in the southwest as part of a scouting regiment in King Dane's 2nd Army. We were losing ground regularly, but we continued to harass the enemy there, hoping to allow the time to regroup with his 1st Army and counterattack. As time went on, we lost more and more ground, and we were pinned on the edge of the kingdom, up against the mountains. Evidently, Shackleton knew we were on our last legs and mounted a major assault against us. We held for several days, but eventually the defensive lines crumbled, and the regiments were scattered. I fled south, away from the battle, into the mountains, hoping to avoid the monsters that had become so prevalent there. But shortly after entering the mountains, I was greeted by a band of kobolds, and they were definitely ready to kill me. However, one kobold stepped forward, said something in their bastard barking tongue to the rest of the group, and the kobolds separated down the middle. I cautiously made my way through the gap, suspecting it was a trap, but knowing that I would die should I turn and return to the hordes of Lord Shackleton. But the kobolds did allow me passage, and I traveled east. My hope was to join the forces at the garrison on the east-west road, but by the time I arrived, it was completely destroyed. Strangely, there was only dead orcs remaining in the ruins, which raised my spirits in hopes that this meant King Dane still held these lands and had sent a force to crush the orcs. Sadly, upon my arrival at 8 silos, I knew immediately that as this was not the case, as the only living creatures I could see from the ground surrounding the city wore the black crest of Lord Shackleton. I tried to move north, but as I approached the northern road, Lord Shackleton's forces were everywhere, and I found myself on the old road through the eastern pass. Although it was unused, there were no longer communities on the other side of the pass, and I guessed it was my best chance of survival. As I traveled the pass, I found bodies of goblins along the road, and eventually came to an old fortress. It appeared empty as I approached, and when I finally got inside, all I could find were the remains of goblins and ogres. I spent several nights at the fortress, regaining my strength, and continued west. After a few days in the wild, I came to the edge of the great forest and headed north, in hope of finding my way back to the north road. Instead, I was greeted by armed elves that took me to their village. Although I was never truly a prisoner, I sure felt like one, until I was finally escorted to an odd human. He wore robes of gray, and a hood hid his face, but I felt strangely compelled to trust him. He told me my coming was expected, and that would be far too slow for me to travel to Goldenwood Delta along the North Road. Instead, he offered to use his magic to transfer me here, as long as I would deliver a message to someone for me. He then gave me a scroll case and a name, C. Ulborn, and a message. I know of your past, but it must remain hidden for now. With that, there was a great flash, and when I could see again, I was here at the council chambers, at the point of guard swords. With that, the man at the head of the table nods at him, says, "Go. Rest once more. Your journey has been extremely exhausting." and you have seen and heard much. And the man turns and leaves. Then the man at the head of the table begins to speak again. While I'm willing to bet that you all know much of this tale, I feel that what is most curious is the missive that was sent by this magic user. Then he turns to you, Kevin. I trust you are indeed this C. Ulborn that this missive was intended for. As such, I relay it to you and you alone to read in private. Once you've finished, you can feel free to discuss it with whomever you like, but rejoin us here in the meeting chambers and share what you will. And he points to a chamber on the side of the room. Through that door is a small chamber, a study for the counselors that meet here in private. Take the scroll case there and peruse its contents. And invite whomever you choose to join you when you are finished. We will await your return. With that, he gives you a scroll case. With this scroll.
Doop, doop, doop. Level up.
Before the shaggy dude leaves, Tomadril runs up to him and grabs his hand. Did you see Ronaldo? Tell me of this kobold!
He kind of eyes you warily. It's obvious that he's still quite exhausted. And the head counselors, kind of, please give him his time. There will be plenty of time for questions in the days to come.
Turns back to Jorgendal. He's Ronaldo! Tears coming down his eyes. He's alive!
And he's leading
share
his
with
own
Baldo?
band of kobolds now.
He's doing right by us!
Oh, he's on in a room by himself.
Talking to the council. Tomadril. So I notice you have a very nice city around here. It's very well known. So what's currently plaguing you at this moment? Is there any troubles that you have? Random quest?
Ultimately, the council all has their own, the grumbles or whatever, but they're all pretty petty, and the head counselor kind of brings things back together. Their biggest issue they're dealing right now is just supplies and transport out, with the huge influx of refugees. Even though there was some time to prepare, supplies are slowly becoming more and more in a dire situation. The fact that the shipbuilders are working for a private contractor currently is not helping matters, because they're not building ships to transport refugees. They're instead building ships for someone else. Beyond that, it's just the standard. Not enough patrollers.
I sense it.
The
Sense
city,
it.
I was doing this.
even though the city is very large, they're 10 times the population the city typically supports because of the refugee influx.
Okay.
And that's their current struggle, is trying to move the refugees on their way that they can.
Die roll.
So the council are pretty high up there in terms of power, wealth. They're very.
You would
they're
assume.
They're well read. I was like, well, I don't know if you've heard, but I am quite well known and well renowned as a bard of many talents and joys. And if you happen to have a party or some sort of formal gathering, I would be honored. It would be the most well-respected, honor of my life to perform at your social gathering.
Yeah, we'll bring Tabby's character in.
So you guys can have your little discussion.
Yep. So I'm gonna tell you that.
You guys can just share amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she was reading over your shoulder. So she
No,
knows
I
this,
actually
but
wasn't.
That was kind of why I built that in, because I just assumed that you would share with Tabby. So
Tell her where we're gonna be going. Where basically what this means, what I said, except for I'm not gonna tell you any of the bottom stuff.
all right, so you shared that with her.
Where we need to
And
go.
I'm assuming you're going to return.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome, welcome. What news can you share with us?
I'm gonna tell them essentially leave out any of the personal stuff
Sure.
about my character
Yep.
and tell them what this missive. I don't know who this came from. Like personally, I don't know, but it's telling us where we need to bring a very important. We have an important message for Lord Wrath, and we need to bring it there as quickly as possible.
The head consul turns and looks at the man sitting to his right and says,
From a King
He can-
Dane.
"That's the king that you met."
Yep.
He says, "Oh, so you're on a mission for King Dane. King Dane was always good in trade with us. Currently the harbor is incredibly busy, but travel to the harbor master with this notice, because he'll surely be able to tell you more than we can." And with that, the man to his right hands you a token with the a large token with the consul's emblem embossed on it.
Okay. Nice.
And then
Cormac
he-
is also very confused by this letter. Because you know why.
I know why.
There's information in there that Cormac did not even know about. So
But somebody does know.
somebody knows.
The pieces are all there. Well, not really. So with that, the head of the council says, "You're more than welcome to remain here. We're enjoying your company. However, given what Cormac has said, I'd suggest you travel to the harbor master with haste. One of our pages can direct you there if you'd like."
Yes. Thank you.
So
I
you
wanted to hear though.
Well, I mean, you can go secure passage and then do that first.
a young, not quite a boy, not quite yet a man, page comes and
A 14-year-old.
says, "Sirs, ma'am, if you'd like to go, I am quite ready to direct you there."
All right, let's go.
So he leads you out of the consul office and through the less packed streets near the,
Nice.
and he travels down towards the main docks within the walls,
I'm gonna tip him a silver piece when we're done.
which he will be most grateful. And he brings you to the front of a large stone
Guy's
building that's kind of overlooking the entire harbor. It's got windows down the whole front of it and says, "This is the harbor master's office. Go inside and show them the token, and they will immediately find the harbor master for you."
Thank you,
With that,
young man.
he bids you adieu.
He dies in the street.
And if any of you guys wanted to catch up, you could have bumped into him. I don't know why you were in the
I'm
bridge
still
quarter.
following him, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of hanging out on that side. Like, hey, what's going on?
Creepy.
So they'll call me
Commodore and Jorgendal are heading to the.
Tavern.
Yep.
So much.
Tavern for drinks.
Okay, you're gonna head that
You gonna
direction.
Tell us where you're going first.
Yep. So I
No.
he won't. What was the deal?
I mean, what was the deal?
He wasn't in there.
Why were you
He,
guys?
he
talking?
waited outside.
Oh,
Yeah, I was behind you guys.
Uh,
I just didn't actually
there's.
budge in and be like, hey, what's up?
I think remember that
Missive.
that dude that we saw riding.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That was probably him. There's a dude in there, and he just told him a story and backed up our story.
Oh.
He's a very, very good soldier.
Okay. Cool. We're with you, bro.
So
The one we saw on the horse and just said, "Nah, fuck him."
Yeah. yeah, we can't catch him.
The one that ran.
Mhm.
Trying to kill him.
We probably were going to try it.
Yeah, we were going to try, but he was going too fast on horseback.
I mean, of course you wouldn't try to do that. He was a good friend.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we received. Tell him about Brandon, whatever. Brandonborough. That's the city that we were going to go to is Brandonborough. That's the fastest way to get our message to Lord Wrath.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are at the harbor master now.
Yeah.
4 of you are. You're going inside, I'm assuming?
Token, yes.
Token.
You enter a simple office with a desk and several benches, behind which is a door. A young man sits at the desk, and as you enter, he says, Welcome to the harbor master's post.
Hello, I have this.
We're here to secure passage.
Upon seeing the token,
Let's talk to the
he
harbor
immediately knocks on a door and kind of does the kind of slide inside. And once he's in, then he opens the door all the way and steps out and says, "The harbor master is in his office. You're more than welcome to go and meet with him."
Going in.
Inside the door is a smaller office with one chair on each side of the desk. Good thing you didn't all come because it would have been cramped.
It's a 5x5 room.
We just keep mashing there, like, let me in, let me in. I'm like,
I want to know what's happening.
Crawl on your shoulders.
And from behind the desk, not fat, portly man,
Slightly rotund.
but weathered, says, "What can a humble harbor master do to aid you?"
We're hoping for passes to Brandenburg as soon as possible, possibly tomorrow morning if we can.
Secure
Depending on our party, I guess. I'm hoping everybody's gonna go with.
The harbor master flips through some ledgers. Sleeping robot is sleeping. He flips through some ledgers and says, "All the ships currently in the harbor are booked and loaded, but I'll pull what strings I can. And at the longest, I can get you a passage within the next week. But if you're in a greater hurry, you could always go to the lower port, outside the city walls, and thus outside the consul and harbor master's jurisdictions, and inquire there. The Rusty Hammer Tavern is known for a man named Jordan. Rumors around currently say that he's in the port, and while known to do some less than savory things, he's ultimately a pretty fair man. And for a price, he might let you on board."
Seems sketchy.
Ask about the privateer who's building ships.
What?
Ask about the privateer who's building
Not
ships.
private.
Private company that's building ships and not using them for transport. You would be interested in this.
Do I know about that? I've never heard about that.
That was
I
Me
do.
personally, I've
Yeah,
never
she
heard
was in
of
the
that.
room.
Oh.
Well, he was reading his note.
Yep.
I was talking it. You were there.
Oh.
I don't know shit about it.
Yeah, that's why I took notes. So you would probably share more with that. This would be something.
Yes, I
The
share this
refugees
with you.
can't get away. Obviously, bleeding hearts. Why?
I ask about the private ships that are being built.
All he knows about it is whoever is backing it has lots of gold. But strangely, most of them aren't deep sea vessels. They're more coastline traders.
Okay.
Beyond that, until they're built and set out of harbor, he doesn't know specifics. It's they pay their golds in fees, and he kind of leaves them alone.
You might be able to purchase one.
If we want to take a ship in a week, is it going to cost us money?
No. You have the consul's good wishes, and as such, he will arrange and take care of everything for you. And at that, there's a knock at the door, and once again, the man from behind the desk peeks in and says, "Sir, we have some business on the docks when you finish up here." The harbor master, obviously trying to close up the conversation, says, "Stop back in the morning, and I'll let you know if I've come up with something.
Okay.
Unless you've arranged other transport, in which case I understand."
Okay, thank you. Bye, homie.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, so you step outside.
Yeah, we're going to go to the...
Can I crawl outside? Never mind. I don't know.
Rusty Hammer.
Rusty Hammer.
Headed to the Rusty Hammer. Well, Ross,
We're already there.
you get to the gate first.
Should have called the Rusty Trombone.
outer gate.
Should have.
You travel through many gates to get there. As you reach the gate, one of the guards says, "Be warned, the gates close at midnight, so plan to be back by then. No one's let in after midnight."
Because
that's
it's
right.
a gated
The
community.
trouble that they're having.
Dusk
in
is starting to
the city
set.
And we're heading to the
Is-
Rusty
They
Tavern.
hanged you
Yep.
from.
Is that a town
front
though,
of the-
too? A small
They're
town?
having problems
It's
getting transport
kind of just
in
the
and out.
suburb. It's not quite as refined. It's more of a. It's not a pirate town. It's a fishing town.
Okay.
It's just a village that's set up around the docks for those people that can't afford the main docks.
They're having problems getting people in and out of the
Once you
city.
guys are outside the city walls,
And there's someone who's making ships.
you notice the buildings are, kept in a bit poor condition. The streets are dirt instead of stone. And there's a whole lot less people around. You can see down on the shoreline that there's some smaller docks with smaller vessels tied to them, most of them fishing vessels, not suited for long travel, although a handful of larger boats are docked further out on the short docks. And the main road from the east gate leads towards the shoreline at kind of a slight angle. And once the three of you have traveled a short distance, you can see a sign hanging from a large building showing a ruddy red hammer and the words Rusty Hammer scrawled on it, hanging off the building.
Jordan goes in and busts in the door and he goes, "Daddy's home!"
Okay, as you approach the building, you notice that it's much better maintained than the surrounding buildings, and there is a very well-kept stable to the east of it. And as you approach the door, two men in ringmail are entering immediately before you.
Oh.
The door opens to a small foyer with a small, kind of thin window and a door on each side, one to the west and one to the east. The men in front of you guys, as you walk in, walk up to the window and speak to whoever's beyond it in kind of hushed tones, and then go through the door to the east.
Listen, perhaps? 20? 18 plus 2.
Nothing immediately, just we're here for drinks.
Okay.
We know the rules. And as the three of you step up, the woman behind the window immediately says, "Sorry, inn's full up. You'll have to try somewhere else."
My good madam, we are here to inquire of a man named Tillis, sent to engage in our...
She stops you. "First time at the Hammer, I see. If so, just remember to mind the rules. No weapons used in the tavern. Same goes with magic. Tellus doesn't build this place for you guys to get drunk and slash up the place. If you think the rules don't apply to you, check the case on the right when you enter. That'll show you what happens to the people who don't follow the rules. Settle your fights with fists or settle them in the streets. Pay for your ale and your fare up front. Don't like getting shortchanged either. If you don't like the food or drink, go somewhere else. You ain't getting no refunds.
Do you happen to have room in the
No
street?
music. If we wanted a bard to sing a tale somewhere else, we'll hire one.
My good ma'am, clearly you have
That being
never...
said, and she's very weathered. It's
Yeah. Cut me
She's
off
gone
there.
through this
Yeah.
many times.
That being said, as long as you can follow the rules, you'll enjoy your time at the Hammer. And she motions to the door at the east.
To the door to the east?
Yep. You guys are gonna get the same greeting when you get there. I'm assuming you guys are gonna stumble your way there.
Okay.
What's the case on the
Later.
side?
So you guys, well, they're gonna enter first. Do you guys want to see what's in the case
Yeah.
first? Once you step through the door to the east, the first thing you'll notice is it's a giant tavern. Tables and booths fill a common room. A bar along the north wall is, incredibly well stocked. Booths are on all edges. There's several doors on the east and west walls, and one on either end of the bar. Above the bar, on a small balcony, a very elderly man who appears to be deep in study of a stack of books sits. To the right of the door as you enter is a case.
Inside
You
the
want to
case.
look at the case?
Yes.
In the case are bits of bone, piles of ash, and broken bits of equipment. Above the case is a large sign, and it says, "Tellus doesn't tolerate those who break his rules. Here are those who have broken the rules." The bar itself is full of rowdy folk, varying from farmers to fishermen and herdsmen, dock workers, even, what you would assume to be mercenaries and adventurers in armor, and it's really loud.
There's a bone saw in the corner too. He said no music, but he didn't say anything about speeches.
Oh god.
And we're gonna die.
It's loud, and most of the people in there are obviously on their second or 22nd ales, and barmaids are coming in and out of the doors alongside bringing out fare to tables. And as you enter, a group of 3 herdsmen get up from the corner booth on the east wall and, head for the door, freeing up a table.
Saunter on over to the table, I guess. Talking to Dorl. Strange place, no music. What kind of Philistines are these?
As soon as you sit down, a barmaid comes over.
Attractive barmaid?
Nah, not really. 5 copper for common grog, 1 silver for the high quality. Meals are 2 silver pieces for the best soup we got and a loaf of bread. 5 silver pieces for fall casserole with the same loaf. And a gold for steak with vegetables. Wine is a silver piece for a glass and 15 gold piece for a bottle. Hard stuff is a gold for a sifter, and it's only 1 per customer.
Bottle of wine, 2 steaks, and at least 2 beers right off the bat of the higher quality stuff for Jorgen.
Alright, so 3 gold, 7 silver. She holds out her hand.
Give her 4 gold.
Alright, she reaches into her.
No change, man.
Thank you, sirs. I'll have it for you in a moment.
You die for tipping.
No tips!
I write my order out.
Your
You
eagle's
right?
just outside circling.
So eventually, over time, you're all going to arrive there. You
Yep.
can just pick your animal companion. You found it and somehow found your way.
Rat.
Camel.
When the barmaid comes back, I want to
Shark.
tell us.
Shark. In a wagon full of water.
and about these insane rules.
A porpoise with purpose.
She glances very nervously up at Tellus
It's an old man with the scrolls.
Whoa.
and says, Tellus doesn't like much information being given about him.
Wanda, create water.
What was that for Jordan?
They do.
Oh yeah, that's different groups. Alright, yeah, different conversation.
Michael Jordan?
Is he above in like a balcony?
There's
Yeah.
a balcony over the bar.
Okay. Is
He's
he
the
like,
man with the.
He's reading books.
oh,
His nose is in a book.
Do we make it there yet?
You guys made it there. You get the same greeting.
Alright, let's go in.
Okay.
So everybody's showing up.
It's too
I'm
loud.
assuming. Roll a listen. Everybody, the 4 of you that have been there. The rest of you guys just got there.
Oh, not me?
No.
Well, I guess there's 5 of you because Mark's characters, Ross's characters, and Belleville.
7 and 17.
5.
10 and
14.
Over time, you guys, sitting there, you're conversing amongst yourselves, but you're also kind of listening to the conversations that are going on around you. Some of the things that you hear. Harvest come fall should be remarkably good, and it's a good thing given the drain on supplies the refugees have had. Forests have become dangerous. More and more attacks and disappearances, and docks have been insanely busy with all the extra travel out and supplies being shipped in. Shipbuilders have been hiring on extra staff with, some say dozens, some of the conversations say hundreds, some of the conversations say scores, of deepwater sailing vessels being purchased by Lord Shackleton with gold up front. And you have, the typical talk that you would get at a northern Minnesota bar of, I banged this girl, she was my sister.
Is there a way up to tell us?
None visible.
Just look up
You're
top
just
of
trying to get fucking thrown, aren't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
You're
Throw a
gonna try
gold,
to
obviously trying.
Tumble up.
Yeah. Throw a gold piece up there.
Run up a
Jordan.
hole.
Ups and daisy.
So you guys are there
Yep.
now.
You gonna ask about find somebody to talk to about the dude? I don't know what his name is.
Gonna ask a
Jordan?
barmaid.
Jordan.
Yeah.
The barmaid points to a door in between two of the booths. She says, he's likely in one of the gambling rooms, trying to swindle up a fortune to cover his crew's pay.
That's it.
Do you need this?
Money.
Nope.
Gambling. That's. It's like, I heard that. All right,
Alright. Let's
let's go in there.
talk to him.
We need to try to find this guy.
Alright, who all is going?
Where you guys are going? Jordan?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
look for this guy.
We're not.
Okay, so you two are staying at the table.
He's too busy trying
Robot?
to get in touch
Am I
with
here?
You're here.
guy
Oh yeah,
upstairs.
I'm gonna go gamble.
Alright. So everybody except for Ross's characters?
Yeah. I don't know.
He's up front as
He
Guys,
found
he
an
had
animal.
He's
dog.
back. He's back at this point. Or he's-
He's outside
Great.
petting his dog.
What'd you find?
A wolf.
Oh, different
So you enter
I don't know
the
if it's
gambling chamber. It's a room about 40 by 30, and there's a table in the center of it, and everybody's kind of standing around it like they would in a pit fight. The table has 10 chairs, 7 which are currently filled, and on the opposite wall, the wall opposite the door you came in, there's a portal through which you can see a strange upward angle of the same man seated above the bar.
Ooh.
The 7 men at the table have varying size stacks of chips in front of them, and the man in the northeast corner has visibly the largest pile, and he's kind of sitting cockily in the chair, and he's got a sifter of wine, and he's sipping on it,
That's Jordan.
It's Lando.
and he's spouting out random inserts, and he's trying to badger, everyone at the table to
Folding.
bet bigger. And while you guys are sitting there, everybody roll a spot.
Nope.
I see the ground.
12.
10.
18.
16 and 7.
Based on what you guys can see, he's not cheating. He's just incredibly lucky.
Magic.
Maybe.
Logic.
No one's that lucky.
Hopefully, Telus doesn't find out.
I was about to say. Magic in the bar, huh? Isn't there no magic?
Yeah. If he's caught.
Don't want to make any assumptions. I'm gonna find a person that's just a random person that's spectating. Like, do you know who Jordan is?
You bump into a big burly dude, blonde hair, and you know who Jordan is? Points to the guy who's sitting at the table sipping the
Okay.
wine.
Alright, let's go talk to
I'm
him.
gonna go get some chips.
I walk up to this guy.
Saunter
As
right
you
on
walk
up.
up, he says, "Hold for a moment, gents. I have some business to attend to." To the rest of the table. "Ah, what brings you to Jordan of the grand ship, the Southern Tempest?"
Rumor has it.
Yeah. Let's. I don't know
anything about it right now. Like personally.
Well, I don't
the
know
character
either.
does, but I don't.
'Cause nobody told me what's actually happening. Like me personally, what's actually happening with this guy.
Ross,
Tell him.
they need some
Ross
info.
knows the most about it.
I mean, she heard
Jordan.
and he was
She knows about.
But,
You're
but we don't
inquiring
know.
about transport.
About Jordan?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Jordan. That was you guys talking.
That was when you went
Oh.
to the harbor master.
Yeah, that was you. You were at the harbor
Oh.
master. Yeah, I only talked to Tell. I only know
Oh, the guy.
So you know
I
that
thought he was-
he has
okay.
a ship,
Was I there?
and
Oh, okay.
obviously he spouted that he has a ship.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
Let's inquire about his shipping business.
Yeah. I heard you're not that great at getting to places. Prove me wrong.
Curious about transport, eh? Well, we just hit port, but I guess I could take a charter. I'd say 10,000 gold.
Well, that
And
ain't
if you
gonna
ain't
happen.
carrying that kind of cash, feel free to sit down at the table. Maybe we can work something out.
I'm sitting at the table.
While this is going on, I wave the barmaid over and I said, I want to send the finest bottle to the man upstairs with this note.
No, Tellus doesn't drink.
Alice doesn't drink. Did he eat?
No,
No.
eat books.
Probably soup.
Never that the barmaids have seen.
Just deliver the message.
Just give him the note.
Fair enough.
Tip her a gold.
Okay.
Nice. She walks by the fireplace.
I ain't dying over this shit.
If Robot's on the table, pass that to him.
What's this?
That's not what you want to pass to him. Oh.
I'm not
They're
gambling.
separate.
That's
Oh, this
you.
is from Ross.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't help Belleville at all. So, what do you say? 10,000 gold?
That's a little steep. You know that's a little steep.
He eyes your sword. He says, "Throw that on a hand. Maybe we can work out passage.
It's a bad idea.
You win,
Bad idea.
you get passage. You lose, I keep the sword."
We can just wait a week.
While this is
I'm
happening,
just gonna put my
Yeah, I'm
hand on
gonna
your shoulder.
like I have passage in a week. I don't need to bet this.
Fair enough. If that's your choice.
while this is happening too, I just ask somebody like, or say, you seem to have pretty good luck, and see what the person says. Like I rolled 2, so it's
Not always.
okay. Carry on then.
Grunts?
I gave my information to Robot. I'm going back outside. See ya.
Well, Robot pulled up a chair, so now Jordan assumes that your sword is on the line.
A what?
Which sword? The scimitar or my
No,
my
your
other sword?
sword.
I have chips. Okay.
We leave.
Now,
Yeah.
through various hand gestures, you've been given some information.
Right.
I can
What's this
write.
man look like?
I fucking
Yep.
wrote something down and said, here you go.
So, they deal up a hand,
Okay.
and you're watching, and you're playing, and I'm assuming you're going to use that
Oh
information.
yeah, definitely.
And over time, you take the pot. Which is a good thing that you used Belleville's information, because if you took Kevin's sword,
Yeah.
you know what he wanted next?
Huh.
Kevin's lady. So, Buddy looks at you and he goes, "Damn, you're good at your cards. Should have known better. But a deal's a deal. Let's round up the crew, head over to the boat, and we can start prepping to depart in the morning."
How much money do I get?
Yeah, how much money did you win?
That was
Let me
just, you
catch
were
this
just
up.
playing with just chips.
All
You
right.
can't just buy in with cash on this
Gotcha.
high end of the game. But he gathers up his chips and proceeds, he puts them in the bag, and he's going to proceed to. He says, "I'll cash out as we're on our way out." He apologizes to everyone else, and he says, "You'll get your chance next time." And as soon as he steps out of the door, and is back into the main room, he turns to you and says, "Damn, looks like trouble. Those two in the scale armor that just came in, they work for Duvall. He's still mad at me for losing some cargo of his, and he keeps sending his thugs to bring back my corpse. Didn't think his lot would be dumb enough to try something here, but we best be ready. Just don't pull those weapons. Tell us to leave you a pile of dust in an instant. We need to gather up my crew quiet-like and head through the kitchen. They'll let me sneak out that way. Couple of you look like you might have some fight in you, so bust some jaws with those big fists and some heads, and head for the ship once we're outside. Hope the lot on the ship has already resupplied, because we're leaving tonight, not tomorrow morning. Now follow me and keep your heads low. Longer we can go without this breaking into a brawl, the better. We're heading for the booth in the corner with the halfling trying to look down the barmaid's shirt. That's Twitch, my first mate." And with that, he kind of tucks his head and heads towards the southwest corner. But he makes it just far enough for you all to clear the gambling room when the two men in the scale mail spy him. There's a scum. Get him.
Charge.
One of them draws the longsword from the scabbard.
Oh!
And as
Oh.
soon as
Come
it
on.
comes out of the scabbard, a lightning bolt streaks from the platform above and hits him, dropping him instantly. Several men on the tables around the room, also in scale mail that was well hidden by cloaks, jump to their feet. And at this point, someone in the corner screams, "Bar fight!" And everyone starts jumping to their feet. And we'll start there, in the bar brawl.
Is this the in the room that I'm in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I jump up the table. Mayhem!